It's Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Here today to teach you one of my favorite drills, which is basically going back and forth between funky Pincha mayurasana and funky, let's call it flying crow, Ekapada Bakasana. Okay, let's do it. So, I'm assuming you already know how to do funky Pincha mayurasana. Otherwise, you're not ready for next steps. So, if you don't know how to do it, you know I have a video for it because I got a video for everything. Okay, I'm linking to it in the information card, so be sure to check that out if you need help with this pose. The basic concept of funky Pincha mayurasana is you have one arm in Pincha mayurasana, comme ça, and the other arm in essentially a chaturanga dandasana position. Now, this chaturanga arm isn't going to be fully 90 degrees. It's going to be less than 90, but keep in mind that because this shoulder is so much higher than this shoulder, it's going to sort of push you down towards the side that's low. So be ready for that and be ready to press strongly into that Pincha arm in order to maintain your balance. Now, whenever we're going in up and down poses, you always want to keep your gaze forward. Okay, so gaze is forward. We come in as if coming into basically a funky dolphin. Okay, remember that to the extent that works for your body, the closer your feet are in towards your arms, the easier it's going to be to kick up because you won't have as much distance to travel, which means you won't need as much speed behind that kick. Now, even more importantly, you want your top leg as high as possible. Why? Because that top leg can help you immensely in the pulling action of coming up, so you're not just relying on push. What's the problem with push? Well, push creates momentum and velocity. And momentum and velocity are not your friends when you're trying to create the opposite, which is control and balance. So as much as possible, we're going to focus on trying to pull up from the top leg, and as little as possible, we'll be pushing up from your bottom leg. Now, of course, this requires a lot of hamstring mobility, so you should be checking out my Hanumanasana video and Paschimottanasana, because hamstrings are the the unsung heroes of our inversions. So, my gaze is forward. I take my top leg as high as it will go and see basically how little energy can I put in to get my second leg up into the air. Okay. Now, I said I wasn't going to teach funky Pincha. That was sort of not really teaching, it's just sort of like overview, okay? The granular details are in the other video, but I do need you to understand at least that much. Now, as with all inversions, if this scares you or you think you might hurt yourself and or die, be sure to use a wall, okay? So, as I mentioned, that top leg is going to be super important. Not just for getting up, but as it turns out, it's what's going to help us to not plop down when we bring the leg down. Because the top leg becomes the resistance to the gravity that wants to draw us down to the floor. Now, once I'm in my posture, which leg am I going to take down? Well, it's going to be the one that's associated with this chaturanga arm, right? I'm not going to go down onto the one that's in Pincha. So first things first, you want to bend your knee as close to your chest as possible while maintaining that top leg as high as possible. If you're working with a wall, the closer you are to the wall, the less it's going to help you. The further from the wall, the more it's going to help you, because you can take your top leg and sort of back bend it into the wall, which will bring your energy backwards so that you don't plop so far downwards. Okay, so you need to be able to get the knee to the chest and the other leg reaching really high to sort of counterbalance that action. Now, the mistake that almost everybody makes when they try to come down into an arm balance, any arm balance, is they try to come down into the arm balance. Now, if you just take your knees straight down into the arm balance, you're gonna fall. Just take my word for it, you're gonna fall. Because it's gonna be too much weight behind you. And so you're gonna wind up somewhere in the vicinity of, my knee goes straight down. Have you been there? Most people are making it that far. They're like, I don't understand. Why can't I balance? My leg is all the way to my arm. What's the problem? Well, two problems. One, too much weight backwards because your knee is coming straight down. Two, do not forget to resist with the top leg. Even though the bottom leg is moving, the top leg is the one that's actually doing the work by resisting. Now, how do I come down if I don't bring my leg straight down? Well, the knee that's coming down always has to move in a C curve. So instead of thinking about your knee coming down to your elbow, I want you to think about bringing it to your armpit. So first the knee will come down, and then you're going to sort of curve in, which not only brings your knee forward, so you've got more weight in the non-fall down position, but what does curling in do for you also? You know, no matter what the question with me, the answer is core. So I come up into my posture. So my knee comes to my chest and my top leg resists like crazy. Now this leg really needs to try to keep touching the ceiling as I take my knee not down, but forward. You see how it goes forward to my chest and all the way to my armpit. Okay? Now I can balance here for a really long time, even though I'm going to come down, because my energy, though it looks like it's downwards, is actually upwards. I've got the root and rebound of my arms pressing down, right? For every action. Did you hear that car horn honk exactly when I said that? For every action, thank you, high school physics, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the more I press down into my arms, the more I go up. So I've got that pushing element, I've got the pulling element, which is the top leg reaching for the sky, or the wall if you're working for the wall, and I've got my sustenance, which is core, 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 always holds me in place. Okay, so what's the key to going back up? Well, the key to going back up is the same as the key to going down, which is pull up. It's not about pushing. It's not about pressing. I mean, yes, you're going to press through your arms, but it's about the leg and even more specifically the hip staying on the vertical so that all I have to do is sort of bend my knee back to my chest to reverse the process up. So again, my gaze is way forward. My shorts are riding way up into my crotch. I set up my arms, take it up, take your time always. Now, top leg resists, and instead of like landing the pose, just see if you can take the tiniest tap, like skim your knee to your triceps. So you bring it up, 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 my top leg resists, my right elbow, the chaturanga elbow pulls in, and I take my leg back up again. Sorry, I forgot the word chaturanga. And in so doing, I lost my energy halfway through the process. Okay, the arm that's in chaturanga is gonna have a strong tendency to sort of splay out from the elbow, okay? So you gotta hug that in. Do you like my two braids on one side look? I'm doing that so the braid doesn't rub up against the microphone because it makes like a really weird sound when it does. I hope you guys appreciate this microphone. I did it for you because of all the complaints. Okay, so in order to go up and down, my arm stays stable, but my top leg lifts like crazy. Okay, so I bring it in, right elbow hugs, top leg resists, I tap lightly, remember C curve forward, and then I bring it back up with my hip. You see how that brings my knee right off my arm, and up again. From there, I could do it again, or you could just bring it in and pressing into this knee, the chaturanga knee, pull the other knee way forward and take it into a little tiny arm balance here. The funkiest of crows. This is a cool exercise because it really, really informs all of your other up and down actions, and is somewhere between the ease of a headstand and the challenge of a handstand. I love this one. I hope you love it too. Don't forget to check out my Vimeo channel, guys. Link is below. It's full-length classes so that you can build all the strength, the stamina, the flexibility, and the balance that you need to do these trickier poses. This is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Wishing you an awesome day.